All right, today we're going to break down this really powerful idea from Denzel Washington. And trust me, it's going to completely change how you think about risk, and especially about failure. It's a philosophy he calls falling forward. I mean, think about that for a second. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything. I want to fall forward. It's so counterintuitive, right? Because we're always told to have a safety net, a plan B. But Denzel, he argues for the complete opposite. He's saying, look, if you're gonna fall anyway, you might as well fall in a direction where you can see what's coming and actually learn something from the impact. So that brings us right to our first big idea here. We've got to rethink our safety nets. I mean, from day one, we're all taught to have something to fall back on. But here's the thought, what if that very safety net is the thing that's actually holding you back? Okay, let's break this down. Falling back, that's totally defensive mindset. It basically means you're already planning to settle for less than what you're truly capable of. But falling forward, that's a whole different game. It's about taking those big, scary risks and knowing that even if you stumble, hey, at least it's a step in the right direction. And Denzel drives this point home with a quote he attributes to Nelson Mandela. Look, a safety net, it might feel comfortable, sure, but real passion, real fulfillment, that only comes from pushing way beyond that comfort zone. It's about striving for the life you know you're actually meant to live. Which leads us to a really crucial point. Failure isn't just, a possibility, it's an absolute necessity. Think about it. The biggest wins in life, in history, they're almost always built on a whole foundation of setbacks. So, this raises a tough question, one we should all probably ask ourselves. If you never, ever fail, are you even trying? Seriously, if your life is just completely free of failure, are you actually pushing your own limits? Or are you just playing it safe, staying inside the lines? Let me throw a number at you. 2,600. What is that? Well, that's the record-breaking number of times baseball legend Reggie Jackson struck out. Not just a lot, the most in the entire history of the sport. But here's the kicker, right? You don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. And this just perfectly illustrates the point. Success isn't about avoiding failure. It's about swinging for the fences so many times that your hits, your home runs, eventually just completely overshadow all those misses. Okay, here's another number for you, 1,000. That's roughly how many experiments Thomas Edison conducted that failed before he finally invented the light bulb. But see, Edison didn't see them as 1,000 failures. He saw them as 1,000 steps. Each failed experiment was just him figuring out one more way that didn't work, which brought him one crucial step closer to the one that did. And that right there, that is the absolute essence of falling forward. Okay, so we've established that failure isn't just okay, it's a necessary part of the whole process. But how do you actually channel that into real forward motion? Well, that's where this critical difference between dreams and goals comes into play. The difference is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. A dream without a goal, it's just a wish, it's just floating out there. But a goal, now that's a dream with discipline, with consistency, and yeah, with a deadline. Without that structure, dreams honestly just end up leading to disappointment. Denzel actually uses this classic 9 dots puzzle as a perfect metaphor for this. To solve it, you literally can't stay inside the little box the dots seem to create. You have to extend your lines way beyond those imaginary boundaries. And it's the exact same thing with your goals. You can't be afraid to think and to act outside that conventional box everyone else is in. All right, now for a personal story that just ties all of this together perfectly. It's Denzel's own story about a failure that took 30 decades, 30 years to come full circle. And it is all about the power of pure persistence. So early in his career, he auditions for a part. It was perfect for him in every way, except one. He couldn't sing, and he failed. I mean, he failed hard, but his reaction, that's the key. He fell forward. He didn't quit. He didn't fall back and say, well, I guess I'll try another career. Nope. He walked straight out of that failed audition and immediately started getting ready for the next one. He lived by this old saying that basically became his philosophy. It's not just about talent, not by a long shot. It's about persistence. It's about showing up again and again and again, even right after you fail. The idea is, if you just stay in the game long enough, eventually your turn is gonna come. And you wanna hear the incredible payoff to all that persistence? 30 years later. 30 years after that failed singing audition, Denzel Washington starred in the play Fences and won a Tony Award on the exact same stage at the exact same theater where he had failed so hard 3 decades earlier. I mean, come on. That is what it means to fall forward. Okay, so with all that in mind, this last part of the philosophy really brings the focus back around to us. It's not just about our own personal success anymore. It's about the bigger impact we can have. It's about our legacy. And this leads to the one question that's really at the heart of this entire philosophy. What are you going to do with what you have? It's a direct challenge, really. It's asking us to look at our own unique gifts and seriously think about how we're going to put them to use. And hey, these gifts aren't just about having a ton of money or some fancy job title. Not at all. Every single one of us has something we can offer. Our time, our patience, our kindness, our unique talents, whatever they are. The real question is, are we actually using them? Now, to really make this point hit home, Denzel shares this powerful and honestly kind of haunting metaphor. Just take a second and really try to imagine this with me. You're on your deathbed, and standing all around your bed are these ghosts. The ghosts of all the ideas you never pursued. The talents you just let go to waste. It's all of your unfulfilled potential, and they're just staring back at you. And then, these ghosts, they say to you, "We came to you because you were the only one who could have brought us to life, and now we have to go to the grave together." Wow, that is a truly sobering thought, isn't it? So the fall forward philosophy really leaves us with this one final powerful question. It's a direct challenge to all of us to take risks, to embrace failure, and to live a life so fully that when our time comes, there are no ghosts left hanging around. So the final question is, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes?